Hey people. So let's talk about some harsh truths, right? Have you ever had a moment in your life, or maybe moments in your life, where everything you thought you knew about somebody or a situation or a topic, or maybe even yourself, was compromised, right? You had to question everything. You had to question, wait, is this really what I signed up for? Is this person really what they said they were? And I say that because recently I had an experience like that where something in my mind clicked where I just said, you know what? I really can't depend on anyone else. Like all these mantras we hear about putting ourselves first and looking out for yourself and so on and so forth, it made sense. Hey, Alicia Asay. Hey, girl. Change your name back. But I was thinking that, really, especially as women, especially as women, we're we're more trusting and naturally have a more nurturing nature due to hormones and chemistry and biology and estrogen and all that good stuff. Um, we may get caught up with trusting people we have no business trusting. And it's just always good. It's always good to have a backup plan. It's always good to have a stash. It's always good to have a default mode of putting yourself first. Because honestly, how can we expect for others to put ourselves as a priority? I'm not even going to say first. How can we expect our family members to make us a priority if we do not put ourselves first? And I don't know. This is just, I'm not in the best mood, but this has got me thinking, it's just got me thinking about the truth of being human, right? Like we can't always trust the people we want to trust. We can't always depend on the people we want to depend on. We can't always rely on the people we really want to rely on because as humans, we want to feel safe, we want to feel comfortable, we want to feel like we have a community. But at the end of the day, honestly, unfortunately, the truth is if we don't put ourselves first, then we can't expect anyone to do the same. I don't know, like have any of you had any of those experiences where something in your mind just clicked and you're like, oh, huh, it's just me and me from now on, right? It's just me, myself, and I from now on. And I don't know, like from my experience, it's always easier to trust a friend or trust a new partner. Maybe in that sweet honeymoon phase, not like in the beginning, not in the beginning, but not so far along where you're starting to get to know the person really well, and you're like, oh my gosh. I'm talking about friends. I'm talking about coworkers. I'm talking about partners, people you're dating, maybe even family members. If you don't know a family member so super well, I don't know. I'm just talking, but I guess an important thing to remember that can help you accept the truth that you're kind of pretty much on your own is that, I mean, when it all boils down, yeah, like you have family, yeah, you have friends, you have associates who will give a helping hand, but at the end of the day, when it comes to securing you and your life and your goals and your agenda, it's just you. And you have to look out for you before you can look out for anyone else. You won't even be in the position to look out for anyone else if you don't look out for you first. But I guess a really good concept to hold on to when kind of accepting these truths is to realize that once you accept the truth, even though it's not the most pleasant thing to think about, even though it may be harsh, even though you may not want to think about it, it's a great tool in you can use it you can strategically use the information to make your life better and to secure the things that you need in life, make the relationships that you need in life. Because if we never confront or accept the truth about us humans having to ultimately depend on ourselves, then we're going to be in la la land believing lies and believing that, oh, I'll always be able to depend on my friends, or I'll always be able to depend on my family, when that honestly may not be the case. But when you accept the truth, you prepare yourself for hard times that inevitably come. Hard times always come, right? There will be times where you will not be able to call on your friend, your husband, your sister, your mom, your dad. Hey, Amber Star. Hey, girl. How you doing? So recently I had a pretty interesting experience where I woke up and I realized something about somebody, and I'm like, you know what? It's just me. You know that song by Beyonce, Me, Myself, and I? That's kind of how I feel right now. And on one hand, yes, we have our family, yes, we have our communities, yes, we have our friends, yes, we have society. But at the end of the day, the relationship you have with yourself is ultimately what will make or break you, what will be your rock. The relationship you have with yourself should be your rock, not someone else's. And even though I've always known this, this has always been in my mind, it kind of was an experience made it very clear to me that this was the case. I kind of just want to get on here and start sharing kind of my perspectives on the topic. But yeah, can you accept the truth? Can you accept the truth that you really only have yourself to depend on? And if you can't accept that truth, why? And if you can accept the truth, then how has that affected your life? How has that benefited you? Okay. All right. So again, just in case I said it wrong, but if you cannot accept that truth, why so? What's holding you back? And if you can accept the truth, that we all ultimately have to depend on ourselves for the life that we want, for the things that we want, for making sure that we are secure and sound. If you can't accept that truth, how has that helped you? And maybe it hasn't helped you. How has that affected or impacted your life? I don't know. I'm interested. I'm interested in hearing what you guys have to say, because I'm at a point where I know for a fact that from here on out, I'll be looking towards myself. I will be doing a lot of groundwork to make sure I'm good. Maybe you could even call it offensive work, right? To make sure that, maybe offensive is not the good term. Is not the best term. Maybe preventative. I'll take preventative measures to make sure I'm good, and that people don't overstep their boundaries and people don't try to exploit. Okay? And I hope you guys are able to do the same thing, because it seems to me that people love overstepping their boundaries, especially the boundaries of women, the boundaries of people of color, especially the boundaries of women of color. And we have to protect ourselves probably more so than other demographics, definitely more than men. Because as of right now, the structural powers that be don't really protect us. Yeah. Amber Star says, that's right, they really do. Yeah, people, And that's just putting it lightly, right? Overstepping boundaries is a very light way of putting what really goes on. Um, but yeah, and I think one last thing, like honestly, one last thing I want to say is that this is going to sound kind of bad, but have low expectations of people. Actually, don't even have any expectations of people. You know, don't. Just don't have any expectations, and then it'll be less likely that you'll be disappointed and hurt in a really deep way. Okay? Have goals, not expectations. Achieve your goals. Don't have expectations. Okay? All right. So I hope this was helpful. Thanks for tuning in, Alicia Asay and Amber Star. It's nice hearing your comments. Yeah, Amber Star says it's always a letdown. Exactly. When you have expectations, it is. That's why it's best to focus on a goal and not your expectations. That's why it's best to focus on what you want to get done and figuring out your strategies and your tactics for getting what you want to get done and not having any expectations of anyone because you just never know. You never really know. You never really know. Okay? All right. So I'll see you lovely people later. See you lovely ladies later. All right. Bye. See ya.